Hello guys, today we're going to do a UDK tutorial on spawning both player and bots inside of vehicles. Okay, so the first thing we need are vehicles. We come to the content browser here at the very top and we click on it, and then we go to the actor classes tab. We come down here to where it says vehicles. It should be closed, and then we just click on this little plus and it drops down a menu. So we just drop in any two vehicles. I'm going to drop in one of these for myself. Click on it and then drag it in, and then drop in a vehicle for your enemy. I'm just going to click on a manta and I'm going to drag that in. Okay, now that we've done that, now you see here I've positioned them at opposite ends of the map. They don't need to be, they could be right next to each other, but it's just for the purposes of this tutorial I'm going to put them at opposite ends of the map. One note before we do get any further. The map should be at least 5,000 by 5,000. Bots tend to get very confused on pathing, and sometimes will just not spawn if the level is smaller. Also, the second note will be we need to go to View and World Properties and to set a game type. Now, for this particular tutorial we don't actually need a game type for it to work, but it's better to have one, as the reticules and HUD will not work without a game mode. But it is not required for this particular tutorial. Okay, so the next step we need to do is to add in a path node. The path node will act as a link for the bot to actually enter the world and then enter the bot. So we come down, right click, add actor, and add path node. I believe it added it somewhere. There it is. Added right in the middle. So we're just going to drag that over to here. Make sure that the path nodes are not of bad size. You see here I drag it down, it's too close to the ground. Make sure it's just it's nicely above the ground and it doesn't have that symbol marking over it, otherwise it will not work. Now that we have that done, with the path node selected, we need to go into kismet. We need to right click and create a new object variable using path node 4. This is because I've used obviously 4 other path nodes. Now, the next thing to do is I'm just going to drag this around so I'm able to see the manta as well. The next thing that we need to do is right click and add in an actor factory. This actually will drive the bot. This is like the little brain of the bot. So we need to set up that little spawn point. The path node 4 will actually be the spawn point of our bot. Now we want the bot to spawn when the level is loaded, so we're going to add in a level loaded block. We get that by right clicking, going to new event, scrolling down to level loaded, and there we are. So we connect the level loaded invisible to spawn actor, so the bot will actually spawn. Now we want the bot to spawn and enter the vehicle. We want it to be spawned into the vehicle rather, and to do that we simply right click, go to new action I believe, and we go to pawn, enter vehicle. There it is. So it's new action, pawn, enter vehicle. Now what we do is when the actor factory has finished spawning its bot at this point, we want it to go in to the enter vehicle. Now to target, we want to target the actual bot, but there is nothing representing the bot at the moment. So to do that, to get something to represent the bot, we come over to here where it says spawned, and we right click on this little arrow and we create a new object variable. This object variable now represents the bot that was spawned by this actor factory. So now we select that and we select this little here and we connect it to this. So the enter vehicle block is now targeting this bot. And now we need a vehicle to actually target. And to do this we left click on our vehicle for our bot. This can be any type of vehicle as long as you came from the actor classes tab and dragged it in. Now what we need to do now is we need to right click and we create a new object variable using the manta, the selected manta rather, and then we connect it up to vehicle/vehicle factory. This is all connected up now, so our AI bot should spawn directly inside of this manta. So quickly we're going to comment this. To multi-select things we simply hold Control and Alt and we drag a box around it, and then we press C to add a comment. I'm just going to call this bot vehicle spawn, or bot v spawn rather. There we are. So that is the coding to get our bot to spawn. Now one thing that I failed to mention was that we must enter the actor factory. and we must set the actor factory. Here, you see here it says factory in the properties. We just click on this little drop down, see here it says none. We need to set that to UT actor factory AI, and we need to force deathmatch. This will make sure that the bot attacks you. And the other thing that we need to do is set a pawn class. We'll just set the pawn class here, UT pawn. Now we do not need to give it a default inventory, as it will be spawning in a vehicle and trying to attack us rather than shooting us with a weapon. So now it is fully completed. It will spawn here, and then immediately after, as the level is loaded, it will jump into the vehicle. So it will seem simultaneous as it will seem as if it never even hit the ground. So we're just going to minimize that quickly. Just doing a quick build, and I'll just demonstrate that now, and then I'll show you how the player actually is meant to enter vehicles. So close that, and we'll just play from here. Ah, there we are. See, there's our bot attacking us now. And there he is attacking us now. Now, for the player to be spawned into a vehicle, it's quite simple. It's in fact quite similar to the bot. What we're going to need to begin with is to come over to our vehicle. This can actually be anywhere, but what we're going to need is to right click and add a player start. This is in the add actor and add player start. Now, just as a note, the path node and player start can be anywhere on the map. It's just for simply showing that they are connected that I'm doing it like this, but they can be anywhere on the map. The distance from the vehicles does not actually matter. So now with a player start added, with it selected, we go into the kismet and we right click and we add a new object variable using player start. I'm just going to drag that down to here. Now we need to add in a player spawn block. Now we get that by right clicking, going to new event, going to player, I believe. Yes, player spawned. Now we want the spawn point to be set to the player start which we just added. So we set that here. And we want this player to be spawned into a vehicle. And to do that we just simply right click, go to new action, pawn, enter vehicle. It's a bit shorter than this one because we don't actually need to set up the actor factory. So then when the player is spawned, we want to immediately jump it into a vehicle. Now we want the target for the actual player spawned and the enter vehicle to be the player. Now to do that we need to add a variable of player type. So we need to right click, go to new variable, go to player and player. Now as you can see it's set to all players initially, and to overcome that we need to come down here to the variables. I believe it's in here, variable player. And you see it says all player, just uncheck that box and close this up. It's set to player 0, as in the actual player. Now we want the target of this block to be the player, so there we go. And then we want to select our vehicle that we want the player to actually enter upon spawning. So we'll swing this around a little bit. There's our vehicle. We select that and then we right click and we add a new object variable using that vehicle. Then we connect this up to here, and that's our player spawning in a vehicle. Okay, now we're just going to quickly comment that by selecting everything. Alt and Control to multi-select, and C to add a comment. And player vehicle spawn. Just quickly add this in, just to keep it nice and organized. So as you can see, that's both bits of code. Very short, very easy. So we're just going to do a quick build, and just to make sure everything is brought in. And there we go, just one moment. There we are. You can just ignore this error, it's not really that important. Then we can just hit play from here. And immediately jumps us into our vehicle. And there you have it. Immediately jumps us into our vehicle, and immediately jumps the AI into his vehicle and makes us attack us. Thank you guys for watching. Please check out any more videos on the Online Design Teacher YouTube channel, and again, thanks for watching.